Okay guys, if you're following me on the Instagram page and on the Facebook page, you recognize this skirt. This is the one that Beauty wore for Halloween that I never actually finished and we had to sew her into. Well, I'm going to finally finish it today because it needs to be laundered. And this is going to be how you would use a ribbon to do the hem of the circle skirt. So you don't have to turn it and fold it, all that stuff. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take the ribbon. This is a satin ribbon. This is the dull side. This is the shiny side. You're going to put the shiny side to the shiny side of the Dupioni. This is a Dupioni silk skirt. And Dupioni polyester skirt, my bad. You just pin it on like this all the way around. If you use pins, if you've been sewing for 1,000 years like I am, you probably don't have to use pins, but if not, you pin it all the way around. And then, after you pin it all the way around, you're going to sew along the ribbon. And we're going to fold it over to the other side like this. And we're going to iron it down. So I'm going to go ahead and pin it along the skirt and come back and show you what it looks like, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the next step. But this is what it looks like so far. We're going to literally pin it all the way around the perimeter of the skirt. And this is one of the easiest ways to hem the circle skirt that you can possibly do. I'll be back. Okay guys, we're back, and I don't know if you guys can notice it or not, but while I was pinning up the dress, one of the light bulbs that I'm using for a light source blew out, so it's a little bit darker in here than it normally is, but the show must go on. This is what the dress looks like with the ribbon pinned all the way around the edge. That's about how many pins you're going to have to use. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew all the way around here, around the edge. I want to give it 1/8 of an inch hem. I'm going to take all the pins out. I'm going to iron it over this way. And it'll be hemmed. And then I'll sew it again and it'll be hemmed. And let me show you what it looks like next. One moment. I'll be right back. I'll show you what it looks like after it's already sewn together. Okay, I'm back, and I've actually sewed along the ribbon along the edge of the dress right here. I have it turned this way because this is the side I sewed on. This is the right side and this is it. But what we're going to do now is iron it over to the wrong side like this. And then the next thing you do is you sew around it and it's done. Now I did this in white thread so you guys could see what I was doing because I didn't know if the purple thread would show up. But when you do this, you're going to do it in the color that matches your dress. And this is an actual play outfit, so it does not have to exactly be on point. Well, anyway, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do now. Let me make sure we zoom out some so I can make sure that the dress is in the lens, and let's get started. Now I'm going to fold it over this way and use my iron to iron it down. One moment. It's kind of hard ironing around the camera, but that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to iron around the camera. And let me try this way. And your skirt will be hemmed. Your circle skirt will be hemmed. Now when you try this method, I would use this method on woven fabrics. I don't know if I would try it on a knit fabric. A knit fabric I would do either a serged edge if you have a serger, and then fold it over and sew it. If you don't have a serger on a knit fabric, I would do a double facing, and I'm gonna actually do a video on how to do that as well. See, now you see that the edge is ironed down. Next thing you're gonna do is sew along this edge, and it would be hemmed. That is a lot easier than turning it and sewing at the same time. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish ironing all of this, and then I'm gonna come back and you guys are gonna see me at the sewing machine again. One moment. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see that white line right there, that is where I sewed the ribbon over to the inside. This is actually the inside of the skirt, and you can see it's nicely hemmed. All I have to do now is trim off these little parts where it was fraying a little bit, because I did let her wear it for a few months playing in it before I decided to hem it. But yeah, that's the inside, that's the outside. Now if you were doing this for yourself, you would have used a thread to match the fabric, but I did it in the white so you guys can see it. And there you have it. It's nicely hemmed, and it didn't take forever, and I did not have to turn it over and hem it and all that good stuff. Let me go ahead and turn it over to the right side so you can see what it looks like. And as you can see, it is a circle skirt that needs to be washed. But when she comes home from school today, I'll go ahead and put it on her, and you guys can see that the hem, all I need to do is iron that, and it'll lay really nice. And there you have it. There is the outside, there is the inside, right there. And that's the way you use a satin ribbon to hem your circle skirt. Now this method is called the hem tape method, and I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and turn it around and talk to you guys about the hem tape method and when I would actually use that method and when I wouldn't. I'll be back. Okay, when we're using the hem tape method, there are a few times that I would use it, and that's actually, we used, like I said, a satin ribbon. We didn't exactly use a hem tape. A hem tape is an actual real thing that I heard still exists, but I've never seen it for sale. And what it was for is what we did exactly here, to hem your clothes with it. And I'm not talking about a heat and bond. I've never used it. I don't know how it works, but I've heard that people use it the exact same way that I used the satin ribbon. And the reason why I've never really used the heat bond is because I'm too lazy to figure out which type of fabric we can use it on and which type we can't, because some fabrics you cannot use the heat bond, but you can use the heat bond the same way, is what I've been told. And if you can actually find a real live, well, it's not live, it's fabric. If you can actually find real hem tape in the world, you can do it this way. You can also make your own hem tape from the fabric that you made the outfit from. I'll show that in another video. And you could also use a bias tape. I will also show that in another video. And you could use the method of making a facing, which is you make one circle skirt and you make another circle skirt the exact same way. You sew them together and you have the hem enclosed in the middle. And I'll make a video on that as well. It's super easy. It's a lot easier than the way I'm explaining it now, and you could actually do it faster than it took me to do this, and this would probably only take you about 15 minutes to do in your house. And the only time I would use this method is if the skirt is really long, if the skirt is not a high-low skirt. I wouldn't do this on a high-low skirt. Or actually, if you have a short skirt and you want to use this method, you could use a contrasting color to give it a little bit of a pop. You know how kids are, or some of us adults are, when we wear our circle skirts, you turn around and the hem comes up a little bit, and you see the contrasting fabric on the other side. That'd be really cute. Beauty actually has a dress with the fabric like that. There's a video called My First Modeling Interview, and you could actually see when she turns around the hem tape that I made to go on the yellow part of the skirt. And yeah, I made that one, and I sewed it onto the dress the exact same way I did this one. And basically, oh, and I would not use this on a knit fabric because the satin is a woven, and if you sew the woven onto the knit this way, it won't do the job. It will be a little heavy on the bottom, and it won't stretch anymore. Another thing about circle skirts is when you make them, do not hem them the exact same time that you make them. The best thing for you to do is take the circle skirt or the dress, whatever you're making, put it on a hanger, let it hang out for a week, because your circle skirt, the nature of the circle skirt is automatically on the bias. And if you hem it now and you walk around, you're wearing it over time, it's going to start hanging differently and your hem will be uneven. So the best thing to do is let it hang out for a week. You go back, you even out the hem, and then you hem it to make sure you have an even hem. Well, that's all I have for today. I will be making videos on how to put the facing on the skirt. I will make another video on how to use the bias tape, and I will also make another video on how to make your own. Well, actually, I already have a video on how to make your own bias tape. I will link that to this video, and I will link that to the other video that I make for the bias tape hemming of the circle skirt. And I will make a video on how to make your own hem tape, which is actually extremely easy. It's extremely easy. You can make it in like 5 minutes. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do like the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment. If you have any requests for tutorials, go ahead and hit me up in the inbox. You can leave a comment. You can contact me on the Google Plus for this page. You could also join our Facebook group that I have, and the link for that will be also in the description box. You can hit me up on Twitter, which will also be in the description box. If you are on Facebook, you can hit me up in my Facebook inbox if you would like. And you could also contact me on my Contact Us form on my website as well, which will also be in the description box. So you can contact me. I'm not that hard to find. There's several different ways to contact me to ask questions or request a tutorial or anything like that. So as usual, I would like to say happy sewing. See you guys next week. Okay, no, don't do that, Beauty. Be still. Now you can see, Beauty, be still. Now you can see what her dress looks like at the bottom. Stand on 2 feet, please. Okay. You can see her dress looks like at the bottom is fully hemmed. I'm gonna zoom in on it from the ribbon. You can twirl around now. Yay! Wait, stop, because it's out of focus. 1 second, let me get it back in focus. Okay, we're back in focus. You can, well, not back in focus.